Very early in my career, I realized that design is not only graphics, or it has a wider application. It can help you solve business problems if you apply the right frameworks. And once you see something on the screen in front of you, conversations start.
It's the One Podcast. Are you subbed, my G?
So we got another episode of the One Podcast here with Rajiv. I think it's going to be a interesting podcast. We're going to get into UX, his sort of long career as an entrepreneur, the company he's doing now. I think you've been doing that for 20 years or so, on and off.
Yes,
So I think
25
it's going
plus.
to be So I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Do you want to just give for our audience of sort of early stage entrepreneurs maybe a 30-second background on you and kind of how you got into entrepreneurship?
Sure, Chris. Thanks for having me here. We started
Great.
in 99 when internet was very new at that time.
Yeah.
Started doing brochure websites and a lot of presentations, and slowly graduating from these kind of websites to little bit complex applications, and then totally doing a lot of enterprise kind of work. And here now we are working majorly with enterprises in high tech, healthcare, and also in B2B commerce. And our future focus is going towards in telehealth applications and a lot of projects in retail. So that's our focus moving forward.
Got it. So I guess this is a question that I kind of ask everybody, but
Mhm.
were you always an entrepreneur? Did you do sort of entrepreneurial stuff when you were younger? Did you have like a career before starting the company? What were you always kind of an entrepreneurial person?
But that's an interesting one because when I was in college, I used to do a lot of freelance work for
Okay.
different agencies,
Yeah.
ad agencies, newspapers. And after college hours, I used to be busy with these kind of assignments. And interesting point is, I used to go to these agencies. They used to come up with a lot of ad campaigns for different clients, and I used to collaborate with them for illustrations on the spot. And same with newspapers as well. They used to give me articles and other things, and my job was to create a lot of illustrations for newspapers and magazines.
Got it.
And that's how I learned how to work with or collaborate with different teams, different clients, and that inspired me to start something of my own. And internet definitely gave me a chance to take this further. And very early in my career, I realized that design is not only graphics or painting or design, but it has a wider application. So
Mm.
it can help you solve business problems if you apply the right frameworks and come up with uh, iterative solutions and collaborate with different people, because once you see something on the screen in front of you, conversations start. So I realized that very early in my career and started in cashing on that and collaborating with different team members.
Got it. Okay, so I guess take me through kind of just you know your current company. Like what were the kind of preceding factors? I guess to starting it. What were those first like year and a half, 2 years like?
Right. So when we started in 99, we were in India at that time, and we were looking for different customers, and we were working with couple of companies who were working for watch manufacturing companies in Switzerland and in
Okay.
Hong Kong. So we started working with them on digital products and also on designing physical products like watches and other things. And another company that we started working was Vardhman Group, and they were coming up with a revolution of knitting, and they were popularizing the idea of that younger generation can also do knitting with different kind of yarn, and how to do it, what are the
Oh,
best
really?
approaches and all. Yeah, so those two projects were really interesting in back in 99, because they were kind of different unique projects, and we collaborated for many years together with them and worked out really well. That gave us a good, you can say, springboard to start our
Got it.
organization.
So, what do you do you immediately have clients kind of in those first couple of years, or how do you approach just sales and marketing as a sort of dev, UX agency?
Yes. So for sales and marketing, we have a team now, but earlier it was largely through word of mouth, and um, we also partnered with a bigger size IT services company back in India, and we were
Okay.
partners for Northern India, and we used to pitch to different customers with them. So that's how we used to get clients locally, and slowly we started approaching bigger audience in different countries around the world through our website, mailing, and those kind of direct market approach. And we started visiting other countries, meeting up with clients in person, showing our faces, showing our capabilities, and that's how we started getting some work. And important factor for us is maintaining the relationship, going the extra mile, because winning a
Yep.
new customer is ever difficult than
Got it.
retaining one. So that's a big lesson that we have learned. And so we are hands on, like all three founders in the organization are very hands on the work, and listening to our customers all the time, doing design QBRs, like quarterly business reviews, just for design with them, and how we can help them improve the satisfaction score or net promoter score, how we can bring down the effort score, what new design themes are coming up which can be applied to their specific industries, what is the competition doing. So those kind of things we bring in and help them keep improving things.
So you would you say that the customer, I guess the point you're kind of making there was the customer retention is more important than the sales to some degree, but the
Yes.
sales is harder. Just acquiring a new client is harder.
Yes, it's a longish cycle because the competition is really tough. Though there is a very big market, but competition is equally tough. So, example, meaning, why would a new customer trust you? Like, why would they give a project to you out of the blue? So you need to build that kind of brand which has that capability of delivering things over a period of time, and also show that you are very relevant in the changing landscape. You're not just doing things the old way all the time. You have strong grounding in the fundamentals, but you can also adapt to the new changes and constantly show um, new ideas and concepts. So one thing that we constantly do with our customers is, as we work over a period of time with them, we understand the business aspect also, and we come up with our design fiction projects with them. So what that means is, let's say I'm working with a customer ABC, and we will do a design fiction exercise. We'll show them what it can be, like hypothetically, or in near future, or totally in like 5 years from now. So these are concepts we show them, and um, that that may not be implementable right away, but it shows that what it can be in the future.
Got it.
and and that client also looks at it, that okay, team is investing their time on their own and looking at things, how can we improve and come up with new concept. So that has been a good hook in building the relationships with the clients.
When you're working with a client on projects, who are you generally like? Do they have internal IT departments or UX or tech people? Who are you interfacing with? Like, who's the you know what I'm saying? Is it a marketing person? Who's the person that you're kind of working with?
Right. So largely we work with product teams, but they are
Product teams.
built of cross-functional teams. IT is definitely there because whatever we are building has to be produced and taken to the audiences. And on this business side, we work because that's how we get all the customer feedback from the market that this is what is required. And that is a very fundamental approach because if we just look from inside out, that is okay, these are the capabilities we can keep building on and throw it on our end user. No, but we go out with them, understand that this is what they need. Okay, this is what they need and this is what we have. How can we have a Venn diagram and give it out, and
Got it.
constantly test whether what we gave, are they even using it, or is it helping them improve their day in the life. So those are some of the fundamental KPIs all the time we look at.
So do you do? I mean, that kind of leads to my follow up question. Do you do a lot of, I guess, reporting on the client? Like, even though you're doing something that's like not necessarily directly tied to their KPIs, are you doing like a lot of reporting and sort of showing those metrics back to the client to show that their investment was worth it,
Yes,
or just
so
what the
that's
return on it was?
exactly. So kind of return on investment, ROI on UX or customer experience piece, that is very critical because if they are investing on building new designs or new user experience across a massive application, they expect that this will be adopted by users really well, and they'll have confidence in the application to do their day-to-day job. It will reduce their effort in a very significant way, and also it will increase the revenues, right? So we definitely show our contribution to the overall growth, and there are different KPIs that I mentioned a few minutes back also. So our reports are generally visual, very visual, like specifically showing that this dashboard or this workflow or this form really improved the adoption, and also suggesting new ways of improvising the form. Like if there is a lot of optional fields in the form, by looking at the usage data, we recommend that we can reduce or totally hide optional fields, because if nobody is actually filling them, we can reduce the form and look at the shortest route to fill the form rather than going through columns of fields and filling them up. And also looking at the multi-channel experience, not just the
Mm.
desktop but multi-channel experience because of different devices, and staying connected to the audience where they are rather than pushing them to a specific device to do their job, but looking at their journey where they are and connecting with them there itself.
For tracking and that type of thing, are you using, I guess, any tools, or do you build out tools internally? I guess sort of white label for yourself to, for the company to use to track ROI and conversion rates and things like that. Like, what kind of tool, what I'm saying? Are those tools like internal to the company, or are you using some other systems?
So largely enterprises have very good portfolio of these kind of tools which
Got
measure
it.
adoption, engagement, and a lot of other reports. So that is one source. And on our side, we do a lot of uh, qualitative um, research with end users, and that is also uh, another aspect of looking at the adoption. One is definitely people came, they clicked on things, they filled up forms, or they didn't fill up, or they created a lot of estimates or quotes. But on the other hand, were they able to do their job confidently, or were they confused when they were looking at the screen? They were able to finish it, but were they really happy? Were they really confident? and will they recommend this tool to other people as well? Those kind of aspects are very important for user experience and customer experience.
Got it.
So that's also um, an important area where we focus. Even
What
to um, um, the point of how the messaging is done. Is it aligned to the brand or not? Even the error messages, notifications, info
Sure.
messages, always looking at reducing the effort for the user. If we can remove a tooltip and make the UI so easy that they don't need to look at the tooltip to do their job, but they can just look at it and get it done. So that's the kind of approach we keep all the time.
How deep is the human cost of your business? Like, is it difficult to train people and hire? You know what I'm saying? Like, we advise people, or we talk to people who are starting a lot of different businesses, dev
Mhm.
agencies, UX. I don't think we have anybody specifically who's doing UX, but
Okay.
like, how difficult is it to get the right people for the client? Because obviously, it's a more creative endeavor than just just like a standard dev or IT use case.
Right. So that's a very important question. Meaning people are at we are designing for people. That is important, or that is the first thing. And then on this side, people need to understand the psychology, the behavior, and how people interact with different products. What are their needs? So this kind of talent is uh, hard to find,
Okay,
and um, within our organization, we have small learning paths that we definitely ask our team members to go through, and then um, retaining team members is getting difficult with uh, with the new opportunities exploding all the time. It is difficult, but
sure.
we are. Um, I mean, thanks to our team members, those who are with us from very long time, and also thanks to our customers who are trusting us with their products and experiences, that we are able to build and retain a team. So yes, creativity is critical, I think, both in engineering or whether it is design. um, the other important factor is we also invest a lot of time in understanding the human behavior, understanding
Okay,
how they interact with a specific product. Do they need it every day in the life, or do they use it once in a month? What is the frequency? And because if they're using once in a month or once in a quarter, they may forget a lot of things which were given in the application. So how do we track that, and how do we improve user experience around those kind of instances? And so our team members sit with real users. They interview them a lot, making a lot of notes and bringing insights from there, and then building back on the UI and sharing it with the wider audience on the client side, showing that this is what we are getting as a signal from the audiences. So this is how we need to build further.
got it. Do you have like a extent? I guess just having been in business for so long, do you develop like sort of materials internally to train people and just like get them? Do you know what I'm saying? Get them kind of at that expert level.
Yes, so over a period of time, what we have seen is there are certain practices that we follow on our own that are very critical for moving from one level to another. So, if let's say fresh design graduate has really good aesthetic skills and also can articulate the design ideas or even the problem, so that is a good spark that we look in for people. And then over a period of time we groom them that, okay, if you can articulate the business problem really well, you have good aesthetic sense. Now the next thing for you is look into how you can improve the interaction design in your
Mm,
prototypes. Okay, look into bringing in emotions in your content that you write. Don't just write, please fill in the form. Look at what kind of audiences are going to fill the form. Try to write in that language. Work with the content writer and bring that kind of content here. And is this content connected to the people who are, or the content is connected to the source from where the people are coming to this page? So slowly we want them to grow from the UI to the UX and to the CX. That's why we say in our brand name also, elevating customer experiences. So if we
got it.
just limit ourselves to just the user experience piece or the UI piece, that is like a tunnel vision. But if we expand our vision to customer experience, that is how you are looking at the entire journey of a user. Like you're actually going to a store to buy something, but you did some research. How did you narrow down on buying this particular item? That is also part of our experience, right? If you searched for something, how the search result is coming to you. So you clicked on an ad, how the ad looked to you. You clicked on an ad, you landed on a landing page, how the landing page is looking at you. Then you filled a form, then you went to the store, you ordered online, all those experiences. And when you ordered something, are we giving you discounts to buy, to keep you in our loyalty program? Are we able to sign you up for more discounts for further purchases? So those are the things that we all look at together. That makes a complete experience. That's why customer experience is key for us. So if you see, the growth happening is from the UI, the UX, the CX, and
Got
then
it.
even to multiple experiences, from web to mobile to watch, digital devices, everything.
Got it. What is the biggest sort of overall in the whole time you've kind of been doing the business? What's been the biggest challenge or difficulty with this type of business?
So one difficult or the challenge is staying relevant in the um, new landscape of
Uh,
technology or design or products, or even the kind of needs people might have
right,
in the future, right? So
right,
like one major example is automobiles. They are changing very rapidly now from gasoline to electric cars, and they are totally connected devices. They are almost like a robo. You
mm,
use your phone to do things on it. There are apps on the car, and you can track the charging um, limits and all. You can pay a lot of things through that. And mobile, how it is changing the landscape of doing commerce and also doing a lot of other things. So those are the behaviors we keep looking at all the time. Study those behaviors and and bring out patterns out of it, and
got it.
then bring those learnings to our design.
Um, what is there anything kind of you've learned that you think would be like super useful to other entrepreneurs, like sort of hard lessons or even things that people like wouldn't expect starting a similar business?
So I think from my perspective, I can share a few things as: never leave your own fundamental practices that you have built over a period of time, because
Stick with your gut, kind of.
right. So I feel that if we stay true to our fundamental approaches that we have built over a period of time, then you are able to go deeper in them and talk. about them and also evangelize that these are the things really help, these are the things really bring results. Because we tend to jump to new things very fast, that okay, this is a new framework, let's do this is a new
Yeah.
process, let's do this. But we should also go deeper into what we have been practicing. The second thing about uh, um, the suggestion is, look for the behaviors of different communities, different business groups, different industries.
Okay.
Because if we, let's say, if I tend to focus too much on B2B commerce, then I may not look at the telehealth industry or digital healthcare industry. But I need to be aware of different industries and purposefully spend time on reading and learning about those industries, because design has a very wider impact. And as designers, we have this responsibility of showing that design can bring these kind of positive impacts and changes to your
On the
industry, to
company.
your industry, and talk about them with people and show them some examples. So a lot of our work or effort goes into building client projects, but as designers, as entrepreneurs, we should do our own projects to show the value and the capability and the impact design can bring.
Got it. Um, what any observations as to like your industry or the UX as a whole sort of trends that you think are coming in the next few years, maybe with AI and that type of thing, or just in light of your point about kind of keeping up with things being one of the main challenges.
So with AI, we need to, as designers, we should also focus on the use cases and not just look at what AI or LLMs or those things are able to do. Like we okay, think of it like LLM has a capability of giving us a lot of content, great graphics or images, and also automating some of the tasks and coming up with a lot of research. So these are inside out views, for example. But as designers, we should look at different industries, study the use cases, and then look at what these capabilities are in AI and in LLMs, and how multiple narrow LLMs can come together and solve a business case,
Sure.
or look at a use case maybe in underserved communities and see how AI can help them. So my suggestion is that all the time look at people, what are they trying to do, solve, or dealing with, and then look at the technology and come up with solutions. Because tools keep changing all the time. It's AI right now, maybe in future there'll be something else,
Yeah.
right? So that
Exactly.
design fiction, I strongly recommend people to do at least one design fiction exercise in a quarter with their team. And the amount of time we spend on building products, I think some of that should be spent on understanding the behaviors and building patterns out of it and implementing those things into your product.
Cool. Cool. Rajiv, thanks for coming on. Any where can people find you if they're what kind of companies I guess would be ideal if they're looking, to work with you or need UX?
So any team or company working on a product, digital product, we are happy to work with them on a workshop, for a week long workshop, to see if they can see whether we are a good fit for them and what kind of business outcomes we bring in and what kind of impact. And
Okay.
I'm always on LinkedIn. They can reach out to me or our uh, company website, intelligia.com.
Got it. Cool. This is the One Podcast. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
Let's go.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Now I'm basically starting a new company, which is going to be an app market.